Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So, on number 1, this is the part I think people forget the most. How do I find this angle right here? You do the inverse trig functions. Alright, girls. So, always start with the angle. Relative to this angle, what sides do I have? Which is what? Tangent of theta equals opposite over adjacent. And then what do we put in the calculator to find theta? Tangent inverse of that ratio will give us theta. The directions say round to the 10th place. So that would be the first decimal place.
Any thoughts on this?
Are these all?
No, not all.
They're almost all tangent.
The things on the right, the first one on the right.
Oh no, number 2 is
Number,
tangent.
number 2 is not tangent.
Yeah, number 2 is a.
How would we set up number 3?
Tangent inverse equals 5.
Tangent inverse of 5, 6 equals theta. How about number 5? Tangent inverse of opposite over adjacent. So what's opposite on number 5?
10.
10. So it's tangent inverse of 10 ninths.
Whee! This is mathematicals.
Oh my gosh. Beautiful. Okay.
Okay, what's different on number 13?
They don't do it's harder.
No, incorrect. Well, it might be a little bit harder. We're looking for a side, not an angle. So you still start with the angle though. Relative to this angle, what side do we have? What side are we looking for? This is the opposite sine of the angle, 29.5 degrees, equals opposite over hypotenuse. How do we solve for x when x is in the denominator? Yeah, you multiply by x so it goes up here, and you divide by sine of 29.5, so it goes down, and they kind of switch places. So it's 3 divided by sine of 29.5. Is it raining outside?
No.
When you walk down from lunch?
No. It's just really wet out.
I think it's supposed to rain like 4 o'clock or something, maybe. This evening. Off and on for the next 2 days.
Like this whole entire school year, like from August, it has never rained on.
I don't think that's true. I think there was the last time we got a decent rain was in March, and it was a weekend.
Dude, I love the rain, but like we've never gotten a rain for like a month.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
It's really dry. They're not even gonna have a pool this summer. Do you hear that? Well, if we get enough.
Dude,
If we don't
Eli,
get enough.
you're invited to come over to my house. I have a pool. Because I live on a different water supply.
Taken all water.
Grant's the culprit. All right.
No, we live in different water. Y'all are trash. You have to live in water.
Number 15. So, relative to the 62-degree angle, what side do we have? What side are we looking for?
Sine.
Opposite and hypotenuse again, so it's sine again. I don't think we've got a lot of repeats on this one. So it's sine of 62 equals opposite over hypotenuse, so it's pretty much the same thing as 13. I mean the same setup. You just switch those two, and x equals 15 divided by sine of 62. It does say round to the 10th place, so you guys doing that. First decimal place.
Wait, what if it like rounds up the decimal place and makes it by chance a different number?
Like 15.97 or something like that. Well, if the 7 rounds the 9 up, the 9 rounds the 16.0.
I got 17.
I was just making a number up.
Oh, I love mathematical.
Okay,
ratio.
number 17.
Did you just kiss that calculator? That's the only thing you're gonna kiss me
For real.
Dude, I kissed my
That's
mother.
low blow.
Actually, it's pretty high considering he's talking about kissing. So like,
on.
Your mother
Doesn't
probably
matter.
didn't like it.
I will recover from this next weekend.
This is an illegal,
Wait, what?
illegal bit.
Wait, what?
Number 17, relative to the 64-degree angle, x is the what side? Adjacent. 16 is the hypotenuse. So which trig function uses adjacent and hypotenuse? Cosine of 64 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. How do we solve when x is in the numerator? Multiply by 16 to get rid of the divide by 16. Okay, remember, if you plug this in your calculator like this, you need to close the parentheses around 64, because 16 is not supposed to be in with the cosine. So, or you could put 16 in the front, that would work too. 19. Okay, on 19, x is the what side relative to 34 degrees?
Adjacent.
Adjacent. 12 is the opposite. Which trig function uses those two? Tangent of 34 degrees equals opposite over adjacent. X is on the bottom again, so these two swap places. X equals 12 divided by tangent of 34. Oh, this is called 25. Okay, the directions. Solve each triangle. Parentheses, find all missing sides and angles. Round answer to the nearest tenth. You must show equation set up in steps. Okay, show your work. How many missing parts are there on 25 in all these films? 3. 25 is missing 2 sides and 1 angle. And all of these are missing. So 26 is missing 2 angles and 1 side. So there's 3 answers for all of these. Let me draw this one. Alright, do you guys remember when I said, if this is angle A, this is side A? You guys remember me saying that? Angle B, side B, angle C, side C. This is 28 degrees. So the angles are capital letters, the sides are lowercase letters, and they're across from the angle. Okay, let's start with the easy one. How do I find angle B? Yeah, because these add up to 180, and this is 90. 90 minus this will give us that. 90 minus 28 is 62. Okay, to find side A or side B, it's basically what we were just doing up here. Same thing. Just a lot more stuff to look at. So, oh, I didn't write down one of the sides. This is 7. So you need the side that you're looking for, and you need a side that you know already. So relative to this angle, what side are we looking for here?
Opposite.
And we have the hypotenuse, which is which trig function? Sine of 28 equals opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of 28 times 7. Somebody tell me what that is.
3.3.
3.3? You can kind of tell, I mean, by looking at the picture, whether it's a reasonable answer or not. My picture's not that great, but if you look at the picture on your page, it looks a little bit better. 3.3 seems reasonable if the hypotenuse is 7. Okay, for the B answer, let's see. So the B is the what side? Adjacent. Hypotenuse is cosine of 28 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So cosine of 28 times 7.
Can you just say what it is?
What did that one, come out as?
6.2.
Does anybody know how you could check your answer on that one? You could do Pythagorean theorem, if that works. Alright. 27. 27 is kind of the same. So let's do 26 instead because that one's missing 2 angles, so it's a little bit different. So you guys can do 27, 28. All right, should be side C, angle A, angle B. Okay, let's start with side C. How could I find side C? This one's different than the last one because I have 2 sides of the triangle instead of 1, and I have no angles, well, besides the 90. So how could I find side C? Pythagorean theorem. If you already have 2 sides of a right triangle, you don't really need to use trig, you can just do Pythagorean theorem. Since the direction did say to use round to the 10th place, we don't want to leave square root of 113, we want the decimal version of that. What does that come up to? 10.6. Okay. How do I find angle A on this one? Basically the same thing as we did on number 1. Remember we found angles on 1 through 6? So relative to this angle, what 2 sides do I have here? Opposite and adjacent, which makes a tangent. Tangent of angle A equals opposite over adjacent, which means tangent inverse will give us the angle. What does that come out to? Okay, we could do something similar to find angle B, but there's an easier way. What's the easiest way to find angle B? Yeah, 90 minus A will give us. So 90 minus 41.2 is 48.8, I think. I'm getting kind of cool. Are you guys getting cool? Close one of the vents. Where's my
I drew a corn on the cob.
bean stick?